Hi there! Today we're going to learn some keyboard basics using Google Docs. By the end of this class, you're going to learn how to use a shift key to make your words capital and to make special characters. You're going to type your name in all different pretty colors and fonts and learn how to do that. We're going to learn how to import images and change their sizes and some other neat things today. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is look for the rainbow triangle or your Google Drive at the bottom of your Chromebook. So go ahead and press the rainbow triangle. That will bring you to your Google Drive. Remember, your Google Drive is kind of like your backpack. It holds all your stuff. One of the things we're going to make today is a new Google Doc. So I want you to go press the new button, which is the rainbow plus on the upper left-hand side. And then you're going to press Google Doc. And that is the little blue square with the white lines in it. Your document should open something like this. The first thing we need to do is type our name in the upper document. So let's go ahead and click the untitled document and hit the backspace or delete key. And let's type your name in here. After you type your name in the top window, I want you to look at your cursor. Your cursor, you might also call your mouse, but do you see when you move your mouse around the page, sometimes it turns to a pointer finger, sometimes an arrow, and then sometimes when you're over your writing area, you'll see it turns to a cursor. A cursor is what we call this blinking line, and that tells you where you're typing. Wherever you see this line blink, that is where the computer will type. So let's go ahead and let's click in this area. You should see your cursor. And the first thing I want you to type is the word shift, S-H-I-F-T. And you'll notice that there is a key on your keyboard called shift. And that key is very important because that's how we make capital letters. So I would like you to hold, to see what happens when you hold that shift key down and type a letter. You should see that's how you make a capital letter. So let's go ahead and let's type shift equals capital and hold the shift key down while you type capital. The other thing the shift key is really good for is when you hold the shift key, you'll notice over your numbers at the top of the keyboard, there are all these special characters, like an exclamation point or an @ sign, which you use to type your email, a hashtag, a $sign, a %sign, a caret, the and sign, an asterisk or parentheses, even an underscore, and a plus sign. So while you're holding your shift key down, let's go ahead and type all these special characters on our page, just like I did. Your page should look just like mine. Let's hit the return key or enter key and get to a new line. Let's type our name. What I want to show you now is how to make all your letters different sizes and different colors. The first thing you need to do is select one of the letters in your name. And you do this by pressing down on your mouse pad, and the letter you select, you'll see, will turn a different color. And that just means it's selected. To change the size of your letter, come up here to where you see a box that has a number in it with a minus sign and a plus sign. If you hit the plus sign, you will increase the size of that letter. If you hit the minus sign, you will decrease the size of that letter. So let's go ahead and pick a new size for one of the letters in our names. Go ahead and type your name and pick a new size for one of the letters in our names. Now let's talk about font. Font is what we call the style of the letters. You are looking for a gray box that says Arial, and that is the default font that most of that Google uses for its docs, but we want to change that and make it something else. So look for this little triangle, this drop-down menu next to the word Arial, and let's press that. And you're going to see all these different choices of fonts. There's curvy ones, there's fat ones, there's handwriting ones. Let's go ahead and pick a different font. The last thing we want to do is change the color of our letter. To do that, you're looking for the icon that looks like an A with an underline under it, and that's your text color. If you press that, you have tons of choices of colors. Red, orange, yellow, all the colors. So let's pick a new color. You can pick whatever color you want for your letter. Now you'll notice if your letter is not highlighted like this, if I change the color, the next letter will turn, but not the E. If you want your letter to change colors, you have to remember you have to select your letter. Now, if you want to get really advanced, when you have your letter highlighted, choose the plus button. This brings you to all the colors in the rainbow. And if you slide the rainbow slider at the bottom, you can pick whatever color you want. And then you can pick a bright version of that color, or a dark version of that color, or a pastel version of that color. So it's fun if you want a specific color in mind and you don't see it, you can pretty much pick whatever you want. And you'll see my E turn that color. So now what I'd like you to do is go ahead and select each letter in your name and change it a different size, make it a different font, and make it a different color. The next thing we want to do is I want to talk to you about how to use the cursor. Let's go ahead and change our font back to 14 points and black text, black color, and pick a font that's easy to read. No cursive. I'd like you to type a sentence. Click one time to place the cursor. Period. Remember to use your shift key to get a capital letter at the beginning of your sentence. After you type this sentence, let's hit return or enter for a new line. Let's type click 2 times to select the word and put a period. Hit return and enter. And then type the sentence, click 3 times to select the sentence. Now let me explain what this is. You'll notice that when you have your cursor and you click just one time, it is going to help you change or add a letter. It just will move your cursor. So you just click your little mouse pad one time to put the cursor where you want it. Now, if you put your cursor over a word, and let's look down here where it says click 2 times to select the word. If you click your mouse twice fast, you will see that the whole word is selected. So try that. Click twice and see the whole word get selected. Now let's look down here to click 3 times to select the sentence. If you click 3 times on a word quickly with your mouse pad, you're going to select the whole sentence. And this becomes really useful. Let's say you want to change the color of the whole sentence. So let's go ahead. I want you to, if you click 3 times, let's go ahead and click 3 times on this bottom sentence and let's change the color of the entire sentence to a color you like. When you're done with that, let's just click twice on the word and let's make each word a different color. Click twice to select the word and each word make a different color. When you're done with this, let's hit the return or enter button and let's type a new sentence. And I'm going to change it back to black so it's easy to read. Undo or arrow for mistakes. So what this means, let's pretend I make a mistake and I type a bunch of words I don't want to type. You could delete, or you could come up here to this arrow in the upper left corner of your screen, and if you click it, you'll see that your mistake is erased, or you'll go back a step. Maybe I accidentally delete a word. Uh-oh, that's okay. Just hit your undo button. So to help you remember this, let's import a picture of the back or undo arrow. To do this, put your cursor next to the period of undo or arrow for mistakes. And let us go to Insert, Image. We're going to import an image. We're going to search the web. So let's go to Insert, Image, drag your mouse over for Search the Web. And let's search the web for the undo arrow. And hit return or enter. And you should see some arrows come up. So let's pick the one that looks the most like the arrow in our Google Docs. Press arrow. And you'll see a blue bar appear at the bottom. Let's press insert. And it's probably going to be really big, but don't worry, I'll show you how to make it smaller. You can click on that arrow and you're going to see some blue lines and squares appear around your arrow. You could use your mouse pad to make it smaller by pulling from the corner box, although there's another way to do this. You can also use your keys on your keyboard to make your image smaller. If you look on your keyboard, you'll see there's 2 keys on the bottom, Control and Alt. If you hold down those 2 keys with your left hand and then press the letter J with your right hand, you will see your image get smaller and you don't have to worry about your mouse pad. This is called a keyboard shortcut. How I remember that Control and Alt and J make images smaller is I think of a little tiny jelly bean. Now, if you'd like to make your image bigger, if you select your image and hold Control Alt plus the letter K, you'll see your image get bigger again. So let's try that and see what happens. I remember King Kong because he's huge for the letter K. So that's how I remember the keyboard shortcuts to make my images bigger again. So let's go back to your document. Select your arrow and let's make it smaller. Again, you can use Control-Alt-J for Jelly Bean, or you can pull from the corner. Your page should look something like this. Let's practice this one more time. Let's insert a new image. How about a happy smiley face? If you go to image and then search the web, and let's type smiley face. Select a smiley face that you like. Press the insert button. And then you have to click on that smiley face so that you see those blue lines and squares appear. And then you can hit Control-Alt-J to make it smaller. And you'll see it magically gets smaller. So let's make our smiley face a little smaller. Now, the last thing we want to do when your page is complete is, if you'd like your teacher to print it out, if you ask your teacher if she's able to do that, to print it out for you, and we can hang them up on the wall. You want to press the share button. Look in the upper right-hand side of the share button, and you'll see there's a place where your cursor where you can type names. And you want to ask your teacher for her email address and type in that email address. I'll demonstrate. You see your teacher's name pop up and you will select that name. You'll notice that you can type in a message to your teacher. So let's type in, "Will you please print this for me?" And then hold your shift key to do question mark, and then press the send button. This will allow your teacher to see your document, and she can print it for you, or he can print it for you. So that is it for using Google Docs. I hope you learned some new things about your keyboard and your mouse and capital letters and special characters today. Thank you.